All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week. I didn't do a very good job with the camera there, Jack.
I'm telling you.
You just set it up. I just plugged it in. But anyway, let's see. Let's thank our marketing partners. Let's thank GAC, Great American Company. Garamo has been with us for several years. Got to appreciate Garamo. Papa John's for providing dinner every week. Slinger Speed Company. We got to hit old Tim Brown up there, the official T-shirt company of the Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News.
Yep.
Thanks to Mr. Tim. Bonders Brothers Distillery. They're still on board. I don't know. I wonder how much Eddie's got left of that bottle.
He ain't got none left, I'm sure. I'm positive of that.
He put a dent in it before he left.
I know. There ain't nothing left now. Plus, he's been to West Virginia, too.
I bet the whole crew loved it. Tanya McAllister. We just talked to Tanya. Tanya's going to be sending Chris a suit for our winner. I think Tanya McAllister, we're going to have her on the show in the near future. Actually, this month because it's Autism Awareness Month. Let's skip that one. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Mountain Jack's drink of choice. Mosquito Joe's get 50% off on your first month of service on this side of the water. Southampton Motor Speedway. Gator Graphics, who wants some graphics done. RDS Performance. RDS has been busy, man. You see him posting. I don't know whose car he ain't working on. It'd be easier trying to figure out whose car he is working on.
Well, yeah, I mean, even 2 or 3 of them he can't be working on. If any of them go to win the race, he's got to go out there with all of them. So
well, he's got a much better shot at winning, right?
That's right.
Let's see. We got to think Mean Dean Automotive with Greer and Associates, and they are in where?
Moyock, North Carolina.
Get 25% off on your Papa John's. On your online orders, use Dodson25 and get 25% off. Talk about Fast Eddie's Barbecue. That's some of our favorite barbecue.
Yeah, Lord.
And that barbecue we had this weekend won't nearly as good as old Fast Eddie's barbecue.
No.
I mean, it was okay.
No, it wasn't even close.
No.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, we made do it.
It was better than the stuff they had on Saturday.
Oh, God.
I ain't going to say where we snuck up onto the...
Don't go there. Somebody be listening.
To the sky deck and ate up there with the nice folks up there. Send us a bill. S&N Communications with Brian Morehouse. Thank you for coming on board. I guess it's coming up on a year or so for those
Charlotte.
guys. Thank those guys. Airlock, which is pretty cool. Eventually we'll get Todd on here for the airlock. It's a quick disconnect. There's a part of factory canopies with Todd Davis for the guys wearing a helmet. It's a composite. They have a couple different types of all molds. Some of them are carbon fiber, and they have plastic. And they did change the design. It's got a couple less magnets in it. For you guys that are running fans, and they have a fan, and actually they're using these fans in the Cup cars and in the Xfinity cars for the road course to defrost the windshield. So they run a hose across the front of the windshield because the fan that they use for the helmet is so small and light, and it uses a battery for you, like your drill or whatever. I forget what brand battery they're using, and it's just blowing on the windshield, helping defrost the windshield on those guys. Miles of Seamless Gutter. Can't thank those guys enough for coming on board and putting up the money for our sponsorship. And then Langley Speedway, man, 75 years kicks off this weekend.
This weekend, Saturday.
What's our?
And we'll have next week. We'll have our next Tuesday night. We'll have our first
driver of the week.
First driver of the week.
For the year.
Yeah, and we're gonna have that every week, and that's gonna be sponsored by GAC and Mosquito Joe. So we got that.
We got coming. We haven't got confirmation. At least I ain't got a text back. We're gonna have custom only for the driver of the week.
Custom
hats every week for you guys.
That's right.
How cool is that?
So if we call you and say come to the show on Tuesday, you got to come to get your stuff. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Hint, right?
Now we're also going to have our first edition this year of Adam Wellbrock's Pit Road Roundup on Saturday night.
Been a while, man. Been a
So
long.
he's got to come. He's got to come with his game next week.
We might have a Dixieland roundup too.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Maybe.
You won't have to be quiet next week.
That's
You'll have
right.
to talk some more, Adam.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my voice
What
ready to go this Saturday.
What's our schedule this week? Okay.
Let's look
We
at
were
it.
just talking about it.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
6 races.
Whoever starts early.
Twin
Right?
late models, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock starting time.
Tickets are still available. Twin late models, 50 laps each. U cars start us off. Late model race number 1. Super streets are race number 3. Super trucks race number 4. Late models second race, and then the enduros race 6. Again, that's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock start time. Be here early.
Be here.
Got to be here.
Pepsi
Got to be
opening
here on
night.
time.
Shout out to
Alexander
Pepsi.
says, let's go, Hunter Morgan. Quality heat and air. Says, Hunter, you the man.
That's right. They're his sponsors. He'll be with us in a little while, and we'll have him on to have talk to him. All right, news. Let's get to some news.
Oh boy.
The Cup Series race was won by Denny Hamlin, and it was a very
Man, he put a clean clinic on. And all the Toyota cars were pretty fast.
Yep.
I mean, let's say all of the JGRs and the 2311 cars were pretty fast.
yes, they did. And
I mean, there was one time I think there were 6 in the top 10.
in the Xfinity race, there was a fight. There was a fight, and then the race broke out. And but anyway, on the last lap of the race, Austin Hill was in 7th place.
That's crazy.
That is
Taking the white flag.
Taking the white flag, he's in 7th place, and he ends up winning the race, which is
Well, he got a gift down in 3 and 4.
he got a whole lot of gifts.
Got a few gifts.
Well, he got a gift, and he roughed the 7 up a little bit. I mean, he said he did. Which roughing up and moving is one thing. What Sammy Smith did was a whole nother.
Oh yeah,
And I think he's got to know that by now. That
he has to. I mean, the whole. I mean, it's the talk of the town right now.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's talking about what Sammy Smith did. Plus, he knocked out Justin Allgaier in the same move.
his teammate.
His teammate.
And even Justin said the way they're driving is uncalled for. I know it's my teammate, but that was uncalled for.
And
And I'm glad somebody like him for stepping up and saying that too.
and Elton Sawyer said
Mhm.
on Sunday in the drivers' meeting,
Yes.
respect is the name of the game. Well, that night there was no respect anywhere, and
No, I mean, how long did it take to make the last 100 laps? I mean, it almost seemed like a late model race. You know how some of the late
Yep.
model races they run 3 laps and there's a caution because somebody.
it was like every 4 laps. They said at the end of that race they were having a call.
It was ridiculous, and it was across the board. It wasn't just Sammy Smith, but I will say I was shocked on what he did down there in 3 and 4. And look, I think we've all wanted to do something like that, or some of us may have done. I've gone too far in those things, and you lose your cool. That to me, it was too far.
I think so too. And
Because I mean, what was it 2 cautions prior to that? He roughed. Who was it that he moved?
Who's Sammy?
Yeah,
Oh God.
I can't remember.
I can't think of his name, but he moved him fairly rough. But he moved him up 2 lanes and got him back. And if that last caution had to come out, he'd have won. And I think that's what. And he had to know that was coming the next time, and then he did. And he didn't nearly move him near as much as Sammy moved him. He just moved him up a little bit and got enough to get on there and got by him, which I thought he would have been fine because he definitely had 2 car length and a half on him going into 3. And Sammy went from the outside lane, overdrove the corner, cut off Justin Allgaier, and just creamed him.
Hey Jeff, good to see you. Danny Millard, look at there.
The OG of the driver of the week.
Let me tell you something. The man who is probably one of the best drivers at Lane Speedway.
In your mind.
Huh? I mean, you should have been here the night he put that move on Aaron Leach.
I was further in the back.
So anyway,
Danny deserves one of the hats. I'll say that he should probably be the exception to get one of the hats. We got Driver of the Week hats coming for every winner this year, and only Driver of the Week drivers will get one. They will be exclusive. And I'll say I'll vote anyway. I think Danny should get one because he's our OG driver.
Well, first of all, you don't have a vote, and so. But anyway, yeah, Danny Millard, one of the best drivers ever here at Langley Speedway. So we have to do that. All right, let's go back to the Xfinity race. The penalties came out today.
Yeah, just shortly ago,
and it was pretty wild. Sammy Smith has been fined $25,000 for his actions in that race.
I don't think that's the worst part. The 50 points.
Yep, and 50 points, and that's going to be
devastating.
That's going to be devastating to him. Dale Jr., I'm sure. I heard today that they had a meeting, so nobody knows what was said in the meeting because nobody was in there,
and we won't know.
And I guess I'll have to call back and call to my friend down there and say, hey, what's going on? He probably can't tell me what happened in the meeting, but he can tell me if he was crying when he came out. So, anyway, also, Taylor Gray got fined $5,000, and
Taylor the other one.
Yeah, and Jeb Burton got fined $5,000 for going in the infield care center trying to get to Sammy Smith.
Well, they tried outside. They should have just.
That was cool. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Well, all right. As I heard on the radio before, at the end, they're like he never been punched in the face before. I don't know who said it, but they were talking about Sammy Smith. I don't know who on the team who said that, but he said he ain't never been punched in the face, and he needs to be punched in the face, and then maybe he'll learn his lesson.
Yeah, I'd be pretty interested. In the Xfinity race, Daniel Hemrick got his first truck win. All these years, I think he's got one Xfinity win, and that's it.
When he won the championship that night. And that's been a long time coming. That's good to see for him. I think, he's one of our sort of short track guys that did well in the Legends, right? And come through and has worked really hard and then has mostly done it not having to bring money himself as some other guys done. Not downgrading anybody because we all got to do what we got to do. But he's worked and he works very hard at it. He's got a young family, and everybody likes him. So it was good to see across the board. There were several of the Xfinity and Cups. I think Corey LaJoie was even talking about him and praising him. He was glad to see him do well and win the truck race. Whose team is he with? It's Fire, right?
Who?
Hemrick?
Yeah. Hemrick. He's with McAnally.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Which is a good team. I mean, they led the points all the way up until the last race of the season last year. They were the regular season champion.
That truck won both races there last year, he said.
Yep.
Oh, really?
With the 19, yeah. So
Christian Eccles was driving it. Down at Wake County, the Cars Tour was at Wake County, the little bull ring down there in Wake County.
that place is small, man.
And Minnie Tyrell got the win, which was
Dominated. Set on the pole and I don't know if he led every lap, but led most of them. And did really well.
Yeah, he beat Connor Hall down there. All right. Also, some news from Wake County. I got a message from them. I think they put it out soon after that they are building a parking deck, a back of turn 2 for the fans to park their cars inside the parking deck. It's going to be, I don't know how many stories high, but they're also going to have a party deck on top of it, so you can observe the race from up there.
Oh,
Cool, man.
So they'll have that. They'll have that in 2027. I think.
I was going to say that can take a little while.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Landon Pimpleton got an ASA Stars race on his schedule. He'll be at Dominion this weekend for that. And, of course, reminder that Dixieland's opening is Friday night. Saturday night is Langley Speedway. I think Dominion's opening. Well, I don't think they've already had a couple races up there like Legends or whatever. But they'll be coming on. And I forget somebody else was opening.
Oh, I forgot. We learned some breaking news too while we were in Martinsville. It's official. Buck Roofs, official commentator for Southside Speedway.
He has accepted the position.
He got the phone call.
Well, he made the phone call.
Oh, he made the phone call. Well, that's one way to do
Well, we set him up.
We did.
We set him up when he was here.
The offer was there.
He got to thinking about it, and then he called the guy.
He got a little antsy.
But he came to us at Martinsville and said, "I have the job."
Good.
It's official.
So
Hell yeah.
that's a pretty good deal. All right, we have our first guest on the line, and
He was busy this weekend.
he sure was. He's had some good racing this weekend.
Well, did he survive the demolition derby weekend?
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him about that.
He had a decent run. What's up, Patrick?
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Dr. Patrick.
That's right. That's right. I'm
To
sorry.
call him Doctor. You know,
Just Patrick. Patrick.
Scott and I were talking about it. You were on this show a long time ago when we did this show, and you got away from racing for a few years, or wasn't in racing
For a
very
little
much.
bit. I mean,
And now you're back in, man. You're having. I mean, you got everything lined up good. So what got you back in it?
Yeah, man. Well, it's being back in NASCAR is great. Never left the racing stuff. I had that run, I think probably last time I was on the show, where I was racing in the K&N series, and that was right after winning the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge with Waltrip Racing, and that was kind of my first stint, and try to make a go at it. And things are complicated in racing. It's hard to make an opportunity stick even when you go out and win a race. So I went back, finished all of my medical school and residency and fellowship, and I've been racing, super late models the last 10 years or so in Florida. Did some tour type modified racing last year. So still been active behind the wheel, just kind of on a drawn back schedule a little bit to get all the schooling stuff done. And fortunately, the stars aligned this year, and I had a huge opportunity. Like you guys saying, got to do a lot of racing this past weekend at a track I always dreamed of running at. So here I am talking to you again. So it's going pretty good.
What was Martinsville like for you, being your first time out there? It's a tough place, right? It takes a lot of patience to run around Martinsville.
Yeah, Martinsville's tricky. Grew up, thinking it would be one of my favorite racetracks. Played it as a kid on PlayStation 2 on a NASCAR game, and a billion laps there, but nothing ever in real life. I've been there once to watch, but never ran a late model or anything there. And it's a goofy racetrack. I mean, that concrete corner is going to be a little bit different. And obviously, you got the curb to deal with. But the thing that was the most surprising to me is basically just how long you have to wait to get back in the throttle. I mean, it's tempting to run it like a regular short track where you pick the throttle up right in the middle and you're able to do that. But then you kind of you overload the tires and you slip and slide off the corner. So the guys that were fast, it seemed, were just waiting a little bit longer to get the car pointed straight. And not something you typically, you have to do in a super late model. The name of the game there is just getting back in the throttle as soon as possible. So I think that was my biggest adjustment. Obviously, like you mentioned, the races got crazy towards the end, particularly the Xfinity race. So it was dodging wrecks, which I'm used to having to do that. But it was an eventful couple races this weekend.
Where'd you end up?
Well, we were in 10th place coming to the green white checkered. Yeah, we got picked up on the restart and turned into the wall, like just past the flag stand. I kept my leg in it, bounced off of it, kept going, and we ended up finishing 16th after the melee that happened. But after starting 33rd, we worked our way through the field. Brian Gainey and the whole team at Sam Hunt Racing, I mean, they made some awesome adjustments on the car to get me in contention there at the end. And first start in that series, to be sitting 10th on a green white checkered and be able to see the leader, I mean, that was more than I expected it would be. And unfortunately didn't finish in that position, but we were close, and it was a good run, I think.
Yeah, Sam's one of our local guys. Actually, Sam is putting a helmet back on in a few weeks. I seen he posted earlier, so he's going to show that all his drivers are real drivers.
That was April Fool's joke, right?
I didn't even think about it. I was waiting for you to tell him that, because I knew it was.
I didn't want to burst that bubble for you.
God doesn't read the fine print.
I texted Sam right away. I was like, as soon as I read Rockingham, and I looked at the date, I was like, I know you're joking.
Oh, that's hilarious. This is like the other one that was posted today about Sammy Smith going in the going into the 99 next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it come about? I mean, you got ARCA deal with Venturini, right?
Mhm.
And now you got a truck deal for for some races. And how many Xfinity races are you going to run?
So we're planning to hopefully run a couple more Xfinity races. The plans are in the works, but they're not set in stone yet. So it's waiting on a couple things, license approval and stuff like that. Right now in Xfinity, I'm approved for a mile or less, and hoping that this race was a good showing, and that'll kind of get expanded a little bit. But we're working with Sam to hopefully run a couple more races this year. The truck with Bruce Cook got 4 races, so is Martinsville. We got Bristol coming up next, and then hopefully going to announce a couple more after that. And then yeah, the Venturini opportunity in ARCA is huge. I mean, I remember racing against them the first time around when I was in the K&N series, and they're one of the juggernauts of the ARCA series, and definitely a great team to be with. So looking forward. The next race with them is actually going to be in Rockingham.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. You got
He's racing against Sam.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I missed that. That makes it even funnier. Did you not get any big track experience last time? Your last stint trying to do this? I thought you did.
Yeah, just a little bit. So I did run Daytona ARCA back in 2014, 2015, and then won the Homestead truck race. I think that was also that year or the year after. So that was the only mile-and-a-half experience that I've had up until this date. So kind of getting reacclimated. It started at Martinsville, short track stuff. Obviously, I've been a little bit more familiar with the last couple of years and try to work our way up from there.
So are you the only doctor that's a race car driver? I mean, I can't think of any other.
I think so. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that race for fun and stuff, but definitely not on NASCAR type of circuit or anything like that.
Yeah, maybe the sports car world, and that's probably somewhat.
But Patrick, how do you work a schedule out? Now I know you're in Texas, and how do you work a schedule out to work for the teams and get to races and do all this, plus your doctor, your practice there or whatever? I mean, that's got to be you got to work on that stuff.
Yeah, man, it's a juggling act. It's two full-time jobs, but I'm really lucky. I finished up. I did all my training in Miami at Bascom Palmer, and I finished up about 1.5 years, 2 years ago now, and then had its opportunity to move out here to Houston. I work for a group called Retina Consultants of Texas, and it's a great bunch of people. They love the passion that I have for doing these 2 different things in my life, and they told me if I came out here, they'd support that in any way possible. So, I mean, the job I have, they work with me on, my schedule, my clinics, when I'm operating. I give them the racing stuff far enough in advance that there's enough people to help cover to kind of make it happen. So it's really a unique situation. I mean, I know that I wouldn't be able to find a job like this anywhere else in the country. So I got my group here behind me, and they help me, make all the logistics work out so I can get to the racetrack.
So where are you running the Super at?
So the Super is based down in Florida, in South Florida. So I've been racing like Auburndale, Citrus County, a little bit of New Smyrna, Freedom Factory. That's where I've been running the last, probably 7-8 years now.
So are you driving back and forth from Texas out there, or are you gonna be flying?
I would drive if I could, but not enough time. So I've been flying back and forth. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's it. Now, for those that don't know, what kind of doctor and what's your specialty?
Yeah, so I'm a retina surgeon. So I take care of any problems inside the eye. So people with, retinal tears or detachments, things where you can, pretty quickly lose your vision. Some of them are like urgent or emergent procedures that we do. But basically just kind of fix anything that goes wrong inside someone's eye and help preserve their vision.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I've always been impressed with what you have accomplished with doing both. And I've talked about you several times over the last few years, but, I didn't know what you were up to. I didn't know you were racing in Florida. So that's a pretty cool deal that you're doing all that. So, hey, you're doing good. I hope we get to see you again up here.
Yeah, so, I'd love to be back up there.
Hey, so then what did you learn through the whole Michael Waltrip experience that you're able to apply now? And Do you think without winning that contest, would you have ever take this leap now?
That's a really good question. You know, growing up, I started off racing, you know, pure stocks at Hialeah Speedway in South Florida, and it was a pipe dream to me that I would ever make any kind of start in NASCAR. And about the time I did the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge with MWR, I mean, I was already a year into medical school at that point. Had done college. I mean, I was juggling, you know, that plus racing locally with the supers and stuff. But I never thought I'd make any kind of start in NASCAR. So definitely that was the opportunity that got my foot in the door. We won the race out at Irwindale, which was huge. Made a lot of really great connections in the sport and people that believe in me and wanted to see me in the seat. And I definitely think having gone through that once and having, you know, my memory of how everything works, it's so complicated. I mean, you obviously have to be talented and go out there and drive a race car, but it's also you know, the people that believe in you, people that are working on your team. Obviously, the funding's a big part of it, and timing. Timing's a huge deal to find you know, an open ride for people that want to see you go out there and perform well. So I think those lessons the first time definitely you know, I'd have loved to have stuck around the whole time if I could have made it work. But obviously, my career went in a different direction, and now I'm getting the opportunity to do both again, and I'm really really lucky. So. Yeah, you take all that stuff and apply it to what you do every day and hope it works out.
Yeah. How did you end up with Sam Hunt? Because Sam, like, I mean, I think we can all agree that Sam has a really small team, but does very well for a small, you know, a small team, right? I mean, if you compare him to some other guys, I think he, you know, I hate to say it, or I mean, he outperforms some of those guys, right, with in the same kind of amount of people that he has.
Yeah, I think the connection with Sam just came through Toyota. So the, you know, teams I drove for previously, you know, MWR and then Bill McAnally, they were all Toyota teams at that point. And so when this whole thing started coming about, that's how I got connected with Sam. It's kind of funny. Me and him actually raced against each other. It would be 12 years ago this week. We ran, K&N against each other at Bristol, and we were just sharing pictures at Martinsville going back and forth. Like, remember this race? He started closer towards the front, but we ended up racing together at one point and just reminiscing about that. But it's funny how, you know, things come full circle. And you're right. I mean, they are, you know, a small team, but they're growing. He talks all the time about how he invests in people. And I think he's got some great people working there at the shop. They really went above and beyond to help get me ready for the Martinsville races more than, you know, anyone I had driven with previously. You know, not just going back and like watching old tape of races, but really going over the mechanics of how the weekend works and what we'll need to do on pit stops and planning out the race. And you're right. They put a lot of effort in for the size and resources that they have. And you know, Sam, that whole team have been great to me.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of stuff ahead of you, a lot of racing ahead of you. So I think that's going to be really great to see you out there again. So hopefully we'll see you here or somewhere around here, and we can come up and talk to you. I should have come and talked to you this weekend, and never got a chance to get down there. But anyway, good luck to you the rest of the way. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Cool. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you having me on. And yeah, hopefully we got some more exciting updates this year. Be back on and hang out with you.
Please do. All right, Patrick. We'll talk to you later.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. And, you know, what a nice guy, right? I mean, we've known him for, you know, when he came through that last time. And it was such a nice kid then. I mean, not that he's a kid anymore. I mean, Adam's not quite a kid anymore. But us, they're kids, right?
Mike.
Right, you're right. Yeah. But, you know, what a deserving guy, right? And did really took, because I think it was a one race deal that he got through that Peak Antifreeze Challenge or whatever that he won, and went out and won Irwindale. So then Michael Waltrip and those guys, you know, helped fund some other races, and they ran a few more races, but they just couldn't find the funding. But he was definitely, and ran well in those other races, but was definitely on his way, right?
Just imagine getting to be an eye surgeon and working to be a race car driver and working to be an eye surgeon.
Well, that's a lot of work.
That's
it's a ton of work. I mean, I couldn't even do it as the race car driver, much less and an eye doctor. But I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, it took him a few extra years, I'm sure. Especially when, you know, he won that Peak Challenge. You know, obviously, you know, it's a huge opportunity to do, and you might have to put some other things on hold. But I'm excited to see him back, and hopefully it works out for him because I definitely he made the best out of his opportunity.
And look how it all came together. He's got an ARCA truck and XFINITY situation there. I mean, that's more than you could ask for coming right back into the sport.
Well, it sounds like there's some more races, and it sounds like he's trying to get qualified on these bigger tracks, which is great. I'm happy for him. I'm just kind of surprised. I thought he would already be sort of
I did too. Yeah,
qualified, being he has run some of these, but it has been 10 or 12 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. Maybe not quite that long.
No, it's not been 10 or 12 years.
But
it's been 7 or 8. Yeah, it's been 7 or 8 at least.
Yeah, but it's great for him to be getting another opportunity and that kind of stuff.
All right, you want to do the thing?
Two really expensive things: med school and racing.
Good gosh, can you imagine that?
Oh my God.
Let's see. Who are we on?
Hi, I'm Lenny Baticki from PRN at the Track, and you're watching Jack Dodson's Racing Insider with Scott Allen and Adam Wellbrock.
And now let's talk to Hunter Morgan. How you doing, Hunter?
I've been doing pretty solid. Can't complain with it at all.
Yep. Now I know you won your opening night, one of your open night races. You won one of them. But I hear there was a lot of stuff going on with that. Tell me what all happened out there.
I mean, it was hard racing. I mean, I think that's what I think, it was. I mean, I wasn't, really offended at the at house, right? It was just hard racing. You've been racing me hard all race. Came down to the last lap. If you ever watch any racing, it's whoever gets to the line first. So we were able to get there first. Definitely got our work cut out on the car, but we'll be back. We'll be back in victory lane there too.
So where all are you racing this year?
We're going to be traveling around. We made the opening race at KINGSPORT, showed our strength, showed the speed in the car. So we're going to be doing some races at Newport for sure. Might even come up to Langley. Can't complain on that. It's a real fun track, I've heard. We might do some Hickory, some Tri-County. Really banking on going to Florence too. I've got one on my birthday that I'm really wanting to go to. But we're just wanting to travel around, give me some more seat time in the car, and get me out in front of some bigger names.
So, Hunter, is this your own team, or do you have a team you're working with?
We're still working with Chase Dixon Motorsports. They're still helping us out, but I'm still working on the car mostly.
Gotcha. So for people that don't know who Hunter is, how did you get started in racing, and where are you from?
So I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee. I'm about 50 minutes from Kingsport Speedway. I can hear I'm practicing on my front porch. But I guess my racing journey really started whenever we moved to my current house. My neighbor at the time had a go-kart, and I'd grown up watching NASCAR on TV, and I was able to talk my dad into getting me into racing at just a young age of 4.
Wow.
So you started in go-karts, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, we started at go-karts at my local track, Ashway Speedway in Strawberry Plains, and then just kind of moved through the ranks through there, and here we are.
Well, it's got to be good, because I think Chase Dixon has got some great. I mean, he's got some good equipment over there, and he does a lot of stuff. I've talked to him several times. I think he's got a good deal for you over there to be able to run his cars.
Yeah, we own the car, but we have them work on it. But I mean, they have some of the best equipment.
You got that right. He's really good at what he does. Even though he won't come on the show, I've been trying to get him to come on the show, and he won't do that. But
you're not as good a salesman as he is.
I'm telling you. So
Chase is a good salesman.
So when you go back over to Chase's again, you tell him I said
he's too scared.
He needs to get on this show because I need to talk to him.
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll definitely give him an earful about it. I don't know why he came on. I don't know if he's just scared or I don't know, but
he's been on here.
That's his fault, not mine.
He's not been. Hey, he's been on this show before, but the last few years, he's avoided coming on here. He's always got an excuse. And but I'm gonna surprise him one day. I'm gonna show up down at Kingsport, and we're all going out to eat. Where he's gonna take me out to eat with his. Doesn't he have Texas Roadhouse involved in his racing?
Yeah, we had Texas Roadhouse. We still do a little bit, but not as much. But yeah, I mean, just show down. You're gonna come or show up. You're gonna have some amazing racing, and might even get some free Texas Roadhouse out of it.
Oh, Chris Dixon said he'll fix that, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we're gonna get somebody to get onto it. So, who all helps you with your car? I mean, you say you end up working on it, and we know Chase is involved, but who else helps you on the car?
Dave and Dave, he works on the car a lot. He does a lot of the body stuff. He does his magic with that, with how much we how much we use the body up, you can say. But I mean, it just takes the whole army. I mean, it even sometimes even my parents are working on the car at the track. I mean, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that work on it.
Who's your sponsors?
My sponsors, we got Raxwell Industries. Got some of the best gloves out there, some of the stretchiest ones. I mean, I think I wore one pair of their gloves for about 3 days, no holes, no rips. We've got a WJ Motorcycles, best motorcycle shop I know of. Ain't been in the others because there's no need to go there. We have a Quality Heating and Air, and then we have some other ones we're working on still. But we're going to be real excited to announce them here in the near future.
So, are you looking at this year? It looks like from early things that I've been listening to from out at KINGSPORT, it looks like it's going to be you and Keith Helton are going to be the two guys that are going to be running for that championship this year. He's a tough competitor.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be running for the championship. After last weekend, we're not going back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, kind of a bombshell, but we're not going back. No, we've got bigger fish to fry. Newport. I mean, they opened back up, and they're an hour from the track, and I'd honestly kind of rather race there at the point.
Yeah, they say Newport's got a pretty good racetrack down. I've never been there, but I think it's a pretty good racetrack.
Yeah, I went there to watch one of the races, and you don't get a break just watching. So I have a feeling it's going to be really good, really exciting, real hard race in there, and I'm so hyped to race there.
So you looking to probably get into this Triple Crown thing we've got going here with Martinsville, South Boston, and Langley? Are you interested in trying to get into that too, or is that a little too much?
I think that's too much for this year. We're definitely going to hit up some of the bigger races. Thanksgiving Classic, we're definitely looking at going to. I went there once in a bando, and I think I kind of begged them last year to take me. So we've definitely got it marked up on our calendar for this year. We're going to try and hit up Martinsville, maybe the Ice or the C400. Just depends on what we want to run. Our schedule is always open to changes.
So we have a question here. It says, ask you if he knows how backup washers work with pop rivets.
I figured that one out, Chris. That's one who asked. Took me a little bit, but I figured that out. Oh, it's Chase. Yeah.
There's got to be a story here.
Yeah. So it was a day in the shop. I think it was a little bit later in the day. I was getting a little tired, and on the rivets, we started putting washers on just because running a KINGSPORT, real hard race and trying to keep some fenders on the car. And I don't know if I was just tired or what, but I was putting them on the wrong damn side, and I put it on for about two fenders. Now I was convinced I was doing it the right way too.
Oh, that's better than my not doing it was April Fool's joke.
Yeah. Now, did Chase give you a hard time behind that?
You know he did.
Oh, he's giving me a hard time about it right now. So that should kind of answer the question.
But that's how you know people like you, man. When we give you a hard time, that means we care about you.
What has piqued your interest in racing? What really got you there? I mean, what made you really want to be a race car driver?
I guess it was just watching on TV and just seeing the speeds of it all, watching NASCAR. Growing up, it always seemed something that excited me. I grew up on a motorcycle riding, so I kind of always had that, the loud noise right next to me, and just kind of fell in love with the sport watching on TV. it's been such a blessing to get into racing. I mean, it's changed my life. So I mean, it's one of the things I'm really glad I did in my life so far.
I thought he was going to say it's because he watched Chase Dixon race.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe, he probably looks up to Chase White.
Man, people must love you. They said, ask what your new nickname is.
So, new nickname we've been given. I'm at KINGSPORT due to the recent controversy is the kid. I've been the kid that's went out there and beat on him, and I've been the kid that's won. So we're rolling with it. I mean, it fits. I'm still a kid, as what they say.
He ain't grown up yet.
Yeah, your mom says you ain't grown up yet anyway. So.
And then somebody says that you got to pay your girlfriend to hang around with you.
See, I've worked that out. I don't have to pay her anymore.
He's a celebrity now. He got to pay her no more.
Okay, I was kind of interested in that one, but I think I'll leave it alone now. So just
now you said you're thinking about coming to Langley. What do you have a particular race that you're thinking about coming and running, like the heat?
Just any race that we could, maybe get up there for it. It's a bit of a haul for us, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to running the heat. Wouldn't be opposed to running any of them. It's just been one of the tracks I've kind of really looked to race at, and may not make it up this year, but we're definitely going to be running there in the near future.
Well, tell Chase to get you a car, and get the car ready, and get him to bring you on out here. He ain't doing nothing else.
No, that he's not. I mean, he might even race himself. I don't know if I want to embarrass him like that.
Oh, the kid is talking trash now.
I'm scared he's gonna come back with something on that one.
You better watch out. You might have a tire come off.
Yeah, Chase is going to he's going to say something about that one. I'm pretty sure that you didn't want to embarrass him. That's pretty bad that you talk to you.
So do you have plans for something for next year, and that's why you kind of want to run some different tracks this year? Is that maybe you want to do something a little different for next year?
Well, next year, our thought is so far has been to maybe make a run at maybe the national title for the weekly series. Figured if we ran around, got me experience at some of these tracks, it'd really boost me. Maybe run some cars tour races. Just we're trying to use this year to as a stepping block for anything we could do next year. Just trying to get me used to these tracks that aren't KINGSPORT. And just get me used to the racers and how the tires race, anything. So we're just kind of using this year as a good foundation for 26 and maybe a shot at the national title.
So what tracks have you ran at now?
Just we're still just at KINGSPORT in the late model. We are trying to go to Lonesome this weekend. It just depends on how well we can get the car together. But I mean, I've been running all over. So, just in the bandos and stuff, I've been running all over. So I don't think it'll be too hard of a challenge, but it definitely will be one adjusting to some new tracks.
Is this your first year in late models?
This is my second year in late models.
Okay.
Last year was my rookie season where we were able to get a National Rookie of the Year. We won 5 races at KINGSPORT, and I guess kind of then we started the trend on the kid on Facebook, and then this year we really hit the home run with it.
Well, hope everything works out good. You can get around and do some of these other tracks, and hopefully we'll see you down here sometime, because I'd really like to see you come down here. And
yeah, you come, you let us know.
And just tell Chase he can't drive that weekend, because you don't want to embarrass him out here in front of all of us. But anyway,
we'll have the kid show up the other kid.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 15 so far. I'll turn 16 in middle of May.
He is a kid.
I'm a kid.
Hey, damn, dude, it's kind of getting late in your career here. You need to keep going.
Yeah, I need to hurry up and get in the trucks at this rate.
Yeah,
right about that time.
All right, Hunter. Well, we appreciate you being with us tonight. Thanks a lot for coming on. Tell your mom and everybody I said hi. and get a hold of Chase and get him straight.
Yeah, I'll try my best, but maybe you might have to keep me in line. We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, have a good night, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Thank
Hey,
you.
buddy. Bye. I didn't expect him to say 15. Oh, why? Kick this over.
Yeah. You didn't expect him to say 15. I didn't either. But what's cool about it is I heard about that controversy down there at KINGSPORT. I mean, everybody was up in arms over that down there.
Is that right?
And so,
Well, I mean, they're like getting beat by a 15-year-old kid.
so he won one. I think Helton
The
won
best
the
part
other.
is when it's a 15-year-old kid and he's fast and he's 15,
Yeah. We had a few of those last year. Fast 15-year-olds, man.
Yeah.
And can you imagine?
They're taking over.
And
Yeah.
Keelan Harvick, the way he is, he's coming along.
He's not even 15.
Yeah, he's going to
And
be.
you know what? I mean, and there's several people in the Cup world that is pretty high on Keelan. I mean, it's yet to be determined on some of the other little kids that are coming up, like Braxton. I mean, yeah, he hasn't really raced anything big yet or somewhat big yet, except this, past Wednesday where he got to race against Kyle and Kyle won in a little fight against those two guys. But I mean, I can tell you just from watching Keelan in the legend cars, the car control that him and some of those guys got, they don't mind roughing you up and they don't mind getting it and they ain't getting out of the car being mad. But I can tell you the experience, and obviously, look, he's got a great coach, right? His dad's probably one of the best at moving somebody or telling you what you can do with the car and how to handle it and those type of things. I was super impressed just watching him here in the corners, moving people and being moved out of the way and just, getting and still going at it. And I don't even know how old he is. Was he 13?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
13 or something like that.
But he is straight.
No, he's 14. He's 14.
And, well, he was getting ready to make his super at the car store, but was sick the night before or something other, and ended up not running.
But he
and,
ran.
and he's going to be fast in it. I mean, I tell you, his dad, they got a good team, obviously, and they went in some races, so he's going to be in some good equipment.
And he went out and run at the Icebreaker and won the limited race at the Icebreaker.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if that was one of his first times he's been in a full-size car.
And we've never talked to him, or I've never talked to him, but every time I see him or see him talking to him, he's very respectful, carries himself very well, doesn't appear to be a crybaby or, get mad. I mean, just very mature for his age. And it'd be curious to see where it goes for him, but I certainly think he's got a bright future. He certainly has a big opportunity.
Yeah, really does. Be fun to see him. I think he's gonna make some touring around, running some races this year. So
yes.
may see him show up here.
Running some more of the tour or the super and the tour, which still blows my mind. You run a super at a certain age, you can't run the tour at a certain age, right? I mean,
that's.
I mean, that's
you look at Tristan McKee,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Look at Tristan McKee.
I mean, there's a lot of young kids. There's a few older ones, but there's a lot of young kids in that super cars tour class,
Pro class. Yeah.
which has a lot more motor and a lot more.
Yeah, when you
I haven't looked at them, but tricked up compared to a traditional.
When you look at those guys, those young kids, and when they get out of the car, how in the world are they driving a race car?
I mean, they're little small guys, right? I mean, Tristan. I mean, look about the first time he came here. I mean, he looked like he's big enough to even. I don't know how the hell he's seen over steering wheel. I mean, that's God's honest truth. I mean, he was just a little teeny fella the first time we've seen it. And he was winning limiteds, or they're running out.
He won a track championship at Caraway.
Right, but but there was a non-NASCAR race, right?
Yeah,
or supers and.
But I mean, he won a championship down there in that Caraway. A lot of guys go to Caraway to race.
And there's a Aspire
developmental driver.
Yeah, he's now. I mean, I don't know how that came about, but I mean,
Chevrolet.
Yeah, but I still don't know. I mean, he's had Chevrolet on the car for a little while, so I don't know if he knew somebody. I don't know how that deal all started in the beginning, but
I have my ideas, but I won't say. I ain't gonna say. I have my ideas about it,
but he's done really well. I mean, you got to give it to the kid. I mean, and that's another one too. I mean, when we went to that first car sorters race this year, some of the car control for him too is just being such a young kid, but he's been driving for a few years. I mean, right? So I mean, he's got some experience, but still, you can't.
And he came through the
You
Robert
can't
Skinner.
teach, right?
Right.
He come that diversity, right? Working with Skinner, but you can't teach car control. Like, I mean, you can to an extent, but some of it you just have to have. Although, I mean, when I was that age, I had more confidence than, you couldn't have told me no different, right? I mean, you said do it, I'm like, all right. I've driven in there too. I wasn't scared of anything. But some of these kids, it's just it's impressive to see how young they are and how much car control, because some of that is just got to be natural. You can't teach, you can't teach when a car gets loose that you just automatically correct. That's just a natural thing.
Okay, well, we're waiting on Willie Mullins. He's supposed to be coming on here in just a few minutes to talk
He's
about
probably doing a TikTok.
Yeah, or he's in the doghouse with Dinah. One or the other. I mean,
He did something wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You got chickens on? Should the chickens?
Yeah. Yeah. They got chickens around the shop out there.
I keep forgetting to bring my thing in. We could do. What's up, Andrew? Seen Andrew on Sunday.
Yeah, he's out hanging around Martinsville. I hear. I didn't see him, but
he asked about you.
Good old.
Said he might be here this weekend. You coming this weekend, Andrew?
Come on, man.
Andrew's not said he wasn't doing the photos as much as he did, but still hanging around.
He's having to work now.
Well, so Andrew's got a job. I talked to him for a few minutes about that. That he's worked for a company and they make the carbon fiber, and then they sell it to Hendrick Motorsports, these other guys, which is kind of interesting because I thought most of those guys made their own carbon fiber. I don't know what the process is with carbon fiber. I mean, obviously carbon fiber is really strong and it's very light, right? That's what it's used for, is what it's good for, I guess we should say. But I didn't realize that there was a company down there that made it, and then they sell it to other companies, because I'm not sure how that process or what form it is when they get it, because I think some of it you want to mold it or make it to a certain size or curved or whatever. They just giving them a sheet and then harden them out. I don't know. That's kind of an interesting.
Maybe someday we ought to get
Andrew
on here. Let him explain to us about what goes into doing carbon fiber stuff. So that would be cool. All right, I'm gonna see if you go ahead and talk.
He's gonna do his thing.
He can't do two things at once.
I really can't.
So so you were here for practice.
Yeah, guys, we had practice on Saturday, open practice.
Only a few late models here, just the Dennis last bunch.
Yeah, got to see the new 27 car.
Yeah, Donovan running.
Brand new 27 machine, looked sharp. Donovan was getting laps in, hanging around. His dad and his uncle. Not a couple of bad guys to follow.
No,
of course, he did a couple of late model races last year.
Yeah, he ran Greg's backup car a couple of times, and
I think he ran Mark's car, one of Mark's cars.
Yeah, I think for a few laps or something. I can't remember exactly. It's exciting to see Donovan, for the Edwards guys to continue on the family thing, and that kind of came late at his age to want to get back into sort of racing, which is exciting. I think it was fun it's good to see, and Donovan's a good kid.
He is.
And it even makes it even that much nicer. He's just not some rugrat, and he had to work for it. It's not that hey, he said, hey, you want to go racing, you start racing, and sometimes you can hear his story. I mean, he's told me about it, how it kind of came about. He wanted to get back into racing, so he had to kind of work for it and show big interest before Bubba, they call him most of the time, Danny, would do anything. And it started in the Pro 6 and ran well in the Pro 6. Won his first race.
Yeah.
And won a limited race or two.
One or two.
In a couple of years. And top 3 in points. And here we are.
Yeah, but Edwards have, obviously they're very good here, and great role models for the sport, and so it's exciting to see another Edwards to be in the late model series, which I think Greg is still going to run full time. He's not going to run full time at Langley, from what I understand. He's going to travel around and run some of the other racetracks. I think he went to South Boston.
Yep.
I don't know how that turned out.
I don't know if I saw him at Sobo. I know he said he was going. I saw Mark
I
racing.
seen him interviewing.
Yeah, he was interviewed
I
there.
didn't see him much on the broadcast. I saw Mark, but yeah, good to see him over there. Mark representing us, and that baby, that 21 car has gold numbers on the side of it. Have you guys seen it?
Mm-mm.
Those numbers are shiny gold.
That's
got
old school.
It's
right there.
really cool.
Oh,
Greg's got a new look for this year, so it's gonna be awesome to watch those guys, and yeah, Donovan too.
Yeah.
usually Woody Howard's got a new look this year.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
It's going to be a completely different.
no more Wood Brothers.
No more. Yeah, it's a whole completely different. So.
Yeah.
So do we have any favorites for the late model race this weekend?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I gotta go Mark. I think Mark is. I don't know if Greg's gonna race this weekend. I'm assuming he will. But I think
that's a good.
Mark is gonna be here full time. He's been second to Greg in probably all his wins last year.
Mhm.
Second in points. I think he's due, man. It's been a couple years.
for sure. And we know that Butterbean is going to be at Disneyland on Friday, supposedly, right? He posted that.
Yeah.
He's
Things
gonna be
go
there
well, yeah.
racing. So hopefully, maybe he'll make an appearance here and come by. I think it'd be
Come hang
good.
out.
Maybe Bill can tuck him into running the mic some. So I think that
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
a great idea. So I'm putting that out there, Butterbean. Come do some commentating
Brendan, if you're here,
Saturday.
come join Brian, man.
Yeah,
We'll talk,
I think
dude.
that'd
We'll
be
have a great
a
time.
Maybe Nicole let you come out and play.
Maybe I can get him to autograph my trucks. I got one of them trucks. It's in the car. I ordered one in to come in a couple weeks ago. Yeah, for his first race. So it was pretty cool. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully, when we go to Charlotte, when they run in Charlotte, I think they're racing on Friday.
Yes.
Hopefully, I can take off on Friday, and then when we go to Charlotte, and hopefully Adam can go and we can go
Sneak
there.
me in the trunk. Put me in
Well,
the trunk.
We'll put pressure on Butterbean. It's like we're here. We want to go to Victory Lane.
Yeah,
so,
man. Look, man.
But that it'd be cool to see him, for us to go down and see him race in person.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That'd be great to see, and I think that's
It's fun to see, and it's great to see our local guys that have ran here and see them doing well in the upper series, right? I mean, you got Connor, like you see, he's driving for Dale Jr. and Dale Jr. was talking about him on this little recap of the race this weekend, and talking about Minnie Tyrell, which is a testament to Minnie and the team, because that's a small little family team. Yeah, they have a full-time employee or maybe two. I don't know. I believe anyway. Don't hold me to that. But to run in the Cars Tour and to be a family team is pretty hard. Right? That's
Today's day and age, yeah.
correct. I mean, you got guys, and not that his guys, doing it for a living, right? They are. But you have you're racing against Lee Pulliam and these other big teams.
Yeah.
That's some of these guys, and that's what Lee does for a living, right? I mean, his car's got to perform. If they don't perform, he can't make it a living, right? So it's
Heck,
what's up, Kyle?
speaking of big deal for the Cars Tour, they're going to be on FS1, man. You see that?
I heard that. I didn't.
The North.
Well, you sure that wasn't an April Fool's?
No, that was not. Kevin and Dale both said it's not an April Fool's joke. So Fox Sports 1 and our buddy Eric Brennan, who's been doing some ARCA races, is going to call the race at North Wilkesboro All-Star Weekend, the Cars Tour late models. Not the pros, but the late models, and they'll both be on Flow.
Yeah, is that Friday night or Thursday?
I think it's Friday.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look at it. But Kevin and Dale are going to be in the booth with Eric. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Well, I mean, that race is a big deal. Have you ever been?
I've been to Wilkesboro before, but
yeah, it's a cool place. It's in the middle of nowhere. If you've never been there, man, it is pretty neat.
the first time I ever saw Wilkesboro,
Friday, May 16th.
first time I ever saw Wilkesboro, I got lost.
Trying to find a racetrack.
No. I was going from Charlotte to Bristol. And I got turned off one of the roads down there, but I had to do something. I turned off one of the roads and I got lost. I didn't know where I was at. So I'm riding along this road and I keep
So I should not be sleeping while you're driving.
let's talk about that later. I'm riding down the road and all of a sudden, boom, there's North Wilkesboro.
Actually, the interstate goes by there now.
Well, it didn't end.
Right,
It didn't end. But I'm sitting there going, wow, I didn't know this was out here. And so then I went back again later on with
Did you go there for a race, or you just went by there?
I went by there one time for a race. That
Okay.
was a long time ago. Matter of fact, I think it was in like the last couple of years they were open. I went up there one time. But it's just funny how, you know, you ride on and there comes this great big racetrack.
Oh.
Now let's go back to the sleeping part. When I'm driving,
Mhm.
I don't think we had any problems like we did when you were driving.
Well, you did about run off the road. I mean,
Well,
don't act like that was on purpose, because when I turned around and looked at you, you looked at me, and we both looked at each other like, oh shit. You know, you hear the rumble strips, and it was not ready. I thought we was getting ready to go in the grass. I was like, oh shit.
So you're saying the Tesla should have drove?
Absolutely. But Wilkesboro is a unique track, and I love that they left a lot of stuff as the way it was, right? I don't know how much stuff, but it still has that, you know, stamp in time, right? We raced there a couple years in a row, I think 92, 93. And it was such a cool experience to go down there. And back then, man, when you ran late models, you went these big tracks. I mean, there was 120 some late models for the field there. Dale Jr., Kelly, Carey were running. We weren't there 5 minutes. I got to have a conversation, or me, the driver, and the other guy that was helping us work on the car had a conversation with Dale Sr. We asked him what could we do to help make the race, and he said that I got 3 kids trying to make the race. I can't help you. But it was pretty cool. He just happened to have to stop in front of us, and we talked to him for about 5 minutes. It was pretty neat. Super, just another racer, you know, a race car driver. It was pretty cool. Some of the other characters, Darrell Waltrip did come by, and we asked him, and he said, Dale, we told him Dale wouldn't tell us anything. He said, let me tell you what to do. You know, and it's like, here, do this, do that,
that's Darrell Waltrip, all right.
But it was a pretty cool experience. The racetrack is on a hill.
Yep.
It literally, when I met Dale Jr. there, we were going through tech and pushing par, and it was so funny because even back then he asked me about Phil Warren. So we're going through tech, and he's coming in one direction because there's 128 of us, I think there was. We're going this way, he's going this way, because you're just making loops to go through tech. And we got to talking to him, and he's like, oh, where you guys race at? And just, talking about racing, and he's like, oh, is that that guy still winning all the races? Who? And I think that year, I think it's when Phil, it might have been 93, 94, because I think Phil won the national title a year after or something like that. Or maybe, that was 90, it was 94 or 95. And I think Phil won the national title, and he's like, oh yeah, he's won all of them. I think that 1 year or 2 years he won all but 1 or 2 races here. I mean, he dominated. Before they paved the track, he had something figured out with the track being is rough and abrasive and tearing tires up as bad as it was, and you would just light the tires up coming off the corner. And there were some things he did that we knew he had shared with us, so I'm not going to share, but it was but he asked about Phil, and it was kind of funny. And I'm like, I come back here and I'm talking to Big Dave, and for old timers that knew Phil back then, Big Dave was his tire guy. Big Dave is like 6'4", 6'5", and you'll see him sometimes down there now, helping Riley. He's the Haven Inn he owns the restaurant there. He's retired military. And I'm like, man, you ain't gonna believe this. I said, I'm in Little Wilkesboro talking to Dale Jr., and he's asking me about Phil. And he's like, no, he did not. I'm like, yes, he did. So it was pretty neat. It was just neat to, but I will say, you're talking about favoritism, everybody else was standing in line to get in the racetrack. And, there was 4 late models already inside, set up. They probably been practicing the day before. That was Kelly, Carey, Dale Jr., and Dylan, Mike Dillon, which is Austin Dillon's dad, Richard Childress, the son-in-law. And I will say, he didn't do that good in the Xfinity series. He owned Wilkesboro and the late models.
I just received a picture.
Oh, I'm scared.
I just received a picture of Hunter Morgan hard at work at the shop. Hard at work at the shop.
Oh, he looks it. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it up there or not.
Fast asleep.
He's fast, sitting in a chair, fast asleep.
Knocked out.
And Chase Dixon says that's how he works at the shop.
Well, it's good that he can drive a race car.
Put it up to the camera. Look at that. Bam, boom.
Went off.
Yeah, well, what the hell? What kind of fun you got, guys? Either way.
Thank God he can
The
drive a race
kid,
car.
yeah. Thank God. Thank God.
You know, it's great NASCAR's brought Wilsboro back. And we're going to Rockingham this year with the Xfinity and the trucks. They're going to Rockingham, and I think that's great to bring Rockingham back.
It is. I was there for the last race.
I was too, and that was, you know, I love that place.
We used to camp there and stay there the weekend. It was pretty neat.
So it's good, and it's in the middle. That's another one's out in the middle of nowhere, really.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's I forget where we stayed up there, but it was not close to the track. That close to the track because there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was a lot of fun. Now I got a question for Adam. He's the NASCAR or a racing guru here with us. Who won when they reopened Rockingham Speedway? Who won the first pole there? And it was in the Hooters Pro Cup Series.
No idea.
It's a local guy. We've talked about him a lot.
A local guy?
Yep.
Still races today?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Greg?
Nope.
You had to brush up on your history.
Yeah.
I know who won the
We
last.
just talked about him.
Mark?
No.
What did we just talk about?
Woody Howard.
Woody Howard. Woody
Oh,
Howard.
I never guessed that. I know who won the last truck race there.
Who was
Wasn't it Kyle Larson? 10 years ago? 2013? That's the only race I remember.
All right, look, there's Willie Mullins. He showed up.
the TikTok famous guy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Willie.
What's up, Big Willie?
What's happening, guys? Sorry, I'm a little greasy. I was just underneath the truck, and Dinah just realized we had the show tonight, so still a little dirty from work.
Well, thank goodness she keeps you in, you know, going like you're supposed to. That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
I see. I look like I got a black eye and a half a mustache. So
Well, that's normal, right?
yeah. Being around Dinah, she usually beats on me pretty good.
Now, what have you got going on this year? I mean, you went to Daytona. Are you
Yep.
going to be doing any local stuff around this year? Or?
Absolutely. I'm planning to come down to Langley. You know, I'm going to run a couple Dominion, but I'm going to come down to Langley and run a couple races. You know, with Virginia Racer or whatever they call it, Dominion now going to Division Run, I think it's going to be pretty exciting the first couple races. So I'm going to watch those from the sidelines and then join in about midway through the summer down there.
That's a smart man.
That's probably a good thing to do, really.
I'm sure half the field will be cleaned out by the third race.
Right.
So tell us how Daytona went down. I know you didn't have a good Daytona, but
It was Daytona. You know, you got fast cars, and then qualifying got rained out, so we had to start in the back, and then we just get swept up in crap on lap 4, and it was unfortunate, but we had a good, strong car. You know, Kevin Reed helps us a lot to get that thing fast, so we're very, very fortunate, and can't wait to go back next year. We're already got the front clip back on it, and we'll be ready to have it to go again.
Now, who does the front clips on those?
A company Excel down in South Carolina. It's basically the old Ronnie Hopkins guys. They bought all the Hopkins stuff, and then it's son and a dad that are doing them all.
Okay, because I know Schrader's place was doing a lot back in the day.
Yeah, and then there's also a guy, Wintron, Kevin Sawinski. He does a lot of front clips for those cars too. So there's a couple places that, you know, or you can send them over to GMS or KBM, they or whatever it is now, Spire. So there's 3 or 4 places you can send them, have a front clip put on them.
well, that's cool.
Are you going to run that anymore this year? Or are you running ARCA anymore this year?
Yeah, so what our plan is, we're going to run Berlin middle of summer, and then the next weekend's Elko. And then I think Mason Diaz is going to drive the car at Bristol, and then I'm going to run Toledo. That's kind of our tentative plan right now.
Well, that's cool. I mean, least you're gonna have it out on track and get some more races in.
And I can
Oh,
see him
absolutely.
using the steering buddy.
Yeah.
Huh?
The steering buddy. Man, you ain't seen the steering buddy?
I ain't paying no attention to it.
You got to check that out. Steering Buddy's awesome, man.
I mean, that thing's got it. It's the thing that helps steer the car. You got a little remote, so when you're pushing the car in and out of the trailer, you can steer it.
Yep.
I mean, that thing's got to be great.
It is, and a lot of dirt guys use it, and that's kind of why they got with us at PRI when we were there, and they wanted to try to get it over in the asphalt world, because a lot of people don't even know about it. So we're trying to get the word out there about Steering Buddy.
Well, that's pretty. You must be on one of your TikToks. I didn't see
absolutely. You got to go watch it. So it made, like, I was by myself the other day and had to unload the car from the front of the trailer. So I used the Steering Buddy and just pushed it out and wiggled it in and out of the trailer all by myself.
Well, darn, that's pretty cool.
It's a pretty neat thing. I didn't realize it's been out for a while. I heard you talk about it before you had got it, and I looked it up, and I didn't realize that they have different couplings to go on whatever steering shaft piece you have, and you got to mount a bracket or weld a bracket on.
It's just a clamp on. It clamps right on the steering column, and like the dirt cars, they just hang on the bar up the windshield bars. So there's a bunch of different applications. And then a good thing too is, say you're a Milwaukee guy or a DeWalt guy, you order it for what batteries you use already.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So you don't have to go out and buy batteries. If you like, we have Snap-on batteries, so they made it hook right up to a Snap-on 18-volt battery.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's pretty cool, then.
I see, Jack.
Yeah.
You could race the car, and we could borrow the Steering Buddy, and you might be fast.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do that, where he just got to hold the gas pedal down.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he can't steer, so
I appreciate y'all putting me down like that. That's pretty cool. I'm still sitting here. Just let you know.
At least we talk about it to your face.
Hey, look, tell us a little bit about that. You got an award from Hoosier. What was all that with?
So the Hoosier Hero program is pretty cool. What we are is we're the ambassador. Butterbean had it last year from down there. We're an ambassador for Hoosier Tires. We're trying to spread the good word and, get a highlight for the company. So we're the ARCA team that gets it this year. So we went up to PRI, and they had a big awards banquet for us and did all that. And then over the year, we're doing commercials, and we have a new product line. We're actually going to be the first people to roll it out for Hoosier Tire in April. That's going to be kind of cool. It's a car care product line, so we're going to be the face of that. So it's pretty beneficial to both of us, and we're trying to make sure Hoosier Tire gets out there what their new products are this year.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Is your Willie Mullins logo going to be on it?
Oh, absolutely. I would think so. They call one of them Big Daddy. So, it's the Hoosier Tire Big Daddy wash or something like that. So we're going to do commercials this week for it. So you'll see that out in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, how cool is that? So do you get free tires when you race?
Let's just say I got a set of free tires. Yes.
Oh, cool.
So it was not as cheap as the short track tires that you all are used to, but we were able to work things with Hoosier, and we got a set of Generals. So they were awesome and treated us well to help us with that part of the program.
Yeah, man, every little bit helps.
Well, that's cool,
absolutely.
Man. You seem to be, the garbage truck business and working on them trucks up there must be doing good for you, because you're doing really good with that.
TikTok, Jack. TikTok.
It is, and we'll see. Who knows if TikTok's going to stay around. It's been really great for me because I can just shoot some videos in the garage on a Sunday when I'm over there working or whenever to show everybody what we're doing. So, we also have possibly some big news coming with the iRacing thing. They're going to start a career mode, so we'll see if we get featured or not. We've heard some rumblings that might happen, so that's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That'd be pretty wild to see that happen. So, Donna, I know Donna's the ramrod behind all this stuff. She makes sure you just go and show up, and that's what you do.
I make her look good with all the work she puts in to help me. So,
well, I'm glad you do that. You still got Kayla and them working with you up there?
Absolutely. We got Kayla and Guy West, Daryl Faree. They're all helping us out every day. We just actually got back from Kayla and Daryl were helping me unload the trailer. We just, believe it or not, unloaded it from Daytona, the bottom half of it. We just been working so hard since we got back from Daytona. I haven't really messed with any of that stuff. So it's time to get ready for late model season. That's coming up, and we got a lot of crap going on, so we can't wait to get on the track and come down and aggravate everybody at Langley again.
Yeah, we want you to come on down. That'd be fun.
Do you have anybody else that's going to drive the late model? I know you were kind of trying, or put a little
We
effort.
do here and there. It's kind of up in the air right now. We're putting it back together. I decided to freshen up the chassis a little bit, paint it, and clean it up, and that's sitting at the body shop all apart right now. I just haven't had time to do the last couple little things of fabrication and put it back together. So that's one of my many projects we have going on right now, besides putting the Daytona car together, getting the short track car together, and then getting the limited together.
Do you ever have a day off?
No, I like working every day of the week, believe it or not. Saturdays and Sundays are the days I get to go play with race cars. So those are the days I step away from regular work and get to go work on race cars a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because I all the TikToks, I mean, he's working 7 days a week. If ain't race working, which hey, I admire it, right? I'm a little bit of a workaholic myself. And to be successful, you got to be a workaholic.
Wait a minute.
What?
He says he's a workaholic. He just got back from Vegas not too long ago, and he's going back week after next again. So,
hey, he's old enough. He deserves it, right?
That's right. Hey, work hard, play hard, Jack.
That's right.
Okay, I'll let it go with that, then.
Tell me that we're going to see the Eagles, and we're going to go see Jeff Dunham, and it's a work trip because it's Napa's 100-year anniversary, and they're having an expo, so therefore it's a work trip. It's all tax deductible.
Right. Absolutely. It's like when we went to PRI. That was a work trip.
That's right. See, Jack, it's a work trip. I'm still working.
You don't work when you're at work. So, hey, so how's Callahan doing? Is he going to be doing any racing this year?
He is. He's running the full season at Dominion and the Virginia Racer. So he's stepping away from a regular late model, and he's coming into the new, what do they call it? Something late model at Dominion. I haven't caught up on the name. Dinah knows it all. So he's pretty excited for that because that kind of puts it back in his wheelhouse where he can afford to compete for wins and has a really good car. So he can't wait to get out on track with that.
Well, I bet maybe he'll come down here and race sometime.
I think he planning on it. I think we're going to get a group of us. I think it was going to be me, him, Eric Winslow, and the guy from Southern National that one of the kids hates. So we're going to bring a group of us down there.
We like people that people hate.
Yes.
It makes it fun, right?
Yeah. We're gonna stir the pot a little bit.
I love it. I love stirring the pot.
That's what he does good. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know you've been busy. You were busy and everything, but we'll get you back on here and let us know when you're coming to Langley, so we'll all make sure we're here.
Yeah, give us a little bit of the stir so we can start stirring it up before you get here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. It'll probably be summertime before we can get down there, but we want to come down, turn some laps, and try to have a good, successful outing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's got to do better than he did last time he came.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty rough. That thing was a pile of junk, and you're frustrated behind the wheel. So, I was just holding on for dear life.
And just remind me, he did stir some stuff up when he left.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Hey.
That's all part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of racing, and I'm going to race just as hard to stay on the lead lap as I can. Once I go one lap down, then I just give up at that point. But I'm going to try to race as hard as I can. Hopefully, we can have a real car to race next time we come down there, and try to keep up with the guys and just turn laps.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We'll talk.
Thanks, guys.
Let us know when you're coming down, and so we can be here with you.
All right, will do. I appreciate being on the show tonight, guys.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's another group that probably doesn't go back. That the TikTok stuff for them has been
Huge.
Really
It's been huge.
guys. I mean, they do that, and I mean that's how what's his name, the pizza guy, got to running their ride for Daytona. Now he's moved on to some other teams and running some ARCA stuff. But it's and sponsors, I think, is helped with that. Obviously, that's what I think some of the young guys now don't. It's just not exactly being on the race car. It's what exposure do you give outside of that? And look, Willie doesn't race that much.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but what little bit he has raced, the exposure that he creates for himself is far
I mean,
exceeds like
getting that
some stuff, right? And that's
Getting that
where a lot
award
of
from Hoosier, I mean, you know, that's huge.
right. And you don't race full time,
That's-
right? So I mean, those are things I'm talking about, right? That's where the TikTok and the Instagram and you know, Donna's pretty good. And I will say, you know, I don't know, you know, who guys are not on TikTok, but TikTok has a really, really good, and I've been playing with it, doing some videos for ourselves, editor or to edit and make videos up. And I'm not no expert yet, by no means, but you can make some pretty cool videos on TikTok just if you just want to use the editor and put music and do different things and that kind of stuff to post. And you don't have to post it on TikTok, but it's a great way. It's a great tool for free to have a great video
Right.
editor. And then, you know, he's done the Amazon wish list and people, when you see him opening things up where that fans have just found him on TikTok that have just sent them stuff, and all that stuff helps, man, when they buy duct tape and food and the steering buddy. That's where the steering buddy came from, if I believe, if I'm correct, that some fan, which is not a cheap thing, but is on their wish list, and fans have sent it to them. So, you know, hats off to them, and I think that's just what, you know, this younger generation has to do to gain exposure for themselves.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please like and share our show. Remember, Langley Speedway's opening night is this Saturday
5 o'clock.
night. 5 o'clock this
Don't jump at
Saturday.
7. Don't do it.
I almost did it last time. I like on a 7 o'clock night. I'll show up about 4 o'clock. You know, a little while before qualifying. I showed up here. I'm like, damn, we're gonna go racing. What the hell? I'm like, oh shit, that's right, 5 o'clock.
So, and we'll have our first driver of the week next week after, well, not, yeah,
So be
after
on your
that.
best behavior this weekend.
Yeah, dude, and get your mafia and everybody together and, you know, make your votes like Scott did. And
Whatever it takes to win.
we can't wait. We're going to have our pit road roundup with Adam Wellbrock starting again next week.
First of many.
So we can't let him just sit here for
75th year, Langley Speedway.
75.
75 years. That's crazy. I mean,
Have a big year, man. Let's do it.
were you around when they first started it?
All right, that's the end of our show, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
How old were you when they opened, Jack?
I wasn't born when they opened this place.
They don't know that.
I wasn't born.
They will. They'll think that now. So if you see Jack this weekend, ask him how old he was when the racetrack opened up.
I hate to be the first person that comes and asks me that. That will not be funny.
Please do it.
All right, we'll see you again next week.